Dear friends, as you know, the government of Kerala has decided to introduce job roles and skill courses under National Skill Qualification Framework NSQF in vocational higher secondary schools of the state. As a part of that, actually we have introduced 48 different job roles which are considered to be very important in getting jobs for the new generation, the students of Kerala. Among those job roles, we are considering one, a very important job role called tour guide under the sector of tourism and hospitality today. See, as you know, actually all these job roles are to be taught and understood under situations where these happen, these jobs happen. But unfortunately, as you know, in a school situation, we may not be in a position to take the students to all possible tourist locations so that they can understand the situation, the kind of professionalism required, the language to be used, etc., etc. Because of that, we have taken a decision that we will prepare a few videos which can be used very effectively in the classroom so that the teacher can use this material to effectively transact the job role tour guide. And this is the basic understanding under which we have developed these videos. And one thing is very important. You should understand that a tour guide is a very professional job role, a very professional one. And because of that reason, you should be professional, passionate and understanding the situations under which you are going to work after this course. One thing is sure, you will be taken around the world, not only in Kerala, not only in the country of India, you will be taken around the world once you become a professional tour guide. It's going to be a very important earning for you, a profession for you, which will be helping you to get a great experience in your life. Let us go one by one to the different videos.
Cultural tour and role of tour guide.
Cultural tourism. This is another area where tourism grows like anything. Different parts of world, different countries, even different part of each country is having different cultures. And each of these cultures have their own colors, their own faiths, their own understandings, festivals, monuments, etc., etc., which creates a lot of situation for tourism. And a tour guide has to understand almost every aspect related to the culture of the region when you take somebody there as a tourist, because it may create situations which will help you, and sometimes it may be dangerous for you if you are not understanding the cultural aspects of the tourist venue, the tourist destination. And this video tells you about the aspects related to the cultural tourism when you become a tour guide.
Cultural tourism embraces activities of tourists visiting distant lands with a view to appreciating and absorbing an alien culture. In a way, it is a one-way traffic in the sense that the tourist is left enchanted by his cultural exposure offered by the guest nation. Next, it is the turn of the guest to do his bit. Cultural tourism expands mental horizon and enables the tourist for healthy cultural exchange. The tourist is literally charmed when he wakes up to the existence of a fascinating alien culture just across his nation's border he never knew. Richer the cultural platform of a country, more would be its tourist appeal. It is that sustaining engine that keeps the pulse of the tourism industry ticking, pulling tourists in waves with an insatiable appetite for cross-cultural exposure. Cultural tourism in India. Cultural tourism has a special place in India due to her glorious past heritage, culture, and civilization. Historical and archaeological monuments attract millions of international tourists to India. Indian culture is not famous for its amazing diversity and astonishing contradictions. It represents the multifaceted culture synthesis of India as a whole. Cultural tourism is extremely popular in India and going to its fabulous cultural exchange. India is the homeland of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. All these religions have their own traditions, cultural beliefs and practices, food habits, music, dance, festivities, language, dress, ceremonies, food and drinks. The most comprehensive view of cultural tourism comes from the World Trade Organization. Based on 2012 global survey, they identified 6 categories: handicrafts and visual arts, gastronomy and culinary, social practices, rituals and festive events, music and performing arts, oral traditions and expressions, knowledge and practices concerning nature. Importance of cultural tourism. Cultural tourism is important for many reasons. Cultural tourism can help reinforce identities, enhance cross-cultural understanding, and preserve the heritage and culture of an area. Cultural activities. Staying with a local family in a homestay, having a tour around a village or town, learning about local employment, for example, through a tour of a tea plantation or factory, taking a course such as cooking, art, embroidery, etc., visiting a museum, visiting a religious building such as a mosque, socializing with members of the local community, visiting a local market or shopping area, trying the local food and drink, going to a cultural show or performance, visiting historic monuments. Tourist-host relationships. Culture clashes can also be exacerbated by the fundamental differences in culture between the host and the tourist. Tourists often, out of ignorance or carelessness, fail to respect local customs and moral values. There are many examples of ways that tourists offend the local population, often unintentionally. Do you know that you should never put your back to a Buddha or show the sole of your feet to a Thai person? Category of cultural tourism products. Historic cultural tourism product, cultural heritage and relics. There are many historical places present in India. Historical places help the tourist to understand the culture and traditions which prevailed in the earlier year of Indian history. For example, the Taj Mahal is one of India's best-known sites and one of the best architectural achievements in India, located in Agra, Uttar Pradesh. Fatehpur Sikri. It was the first planned city of the Mughals and also the first one designed in Mughal architecture, an amalgamation of Indian architecture, Persian and Islamic. Varanasi, the guts of one of the oldest cities of the world. The Mahabodhi Temple is a 2,000-year-old temple dedicated to Gautam Buddha in Bodh Gaya, Bihar. The Nalanda is located in the Indian state of Bihar, was a Buddhist center of learning from 427 CE to 1197 CE, partially under the Pala Empire. It has been called one of the first great universities in recorded history. The Brihadeshwara Temple in Tanjore, Tamil Nadu, built by the Cholas. The temple is one of India's most prized architectural sites. The Airavateshwara Temple is located in the town of Dharasuram near Kumbakonam, Tamil Nadu. The Shore Temple, along with a collection of other monuments in Mahabalipuram, Tamil Nadu. The Harmandir Sahib is one of the most respected Gurudwara in India and the most sacred place for Sikhs. The Baha'i Temple in Delhi was completed in 1996 and serves as the mother temple of the Indian subcontinent. It has won numerous architectural awards and been featured in hundreds of newspaper and magazine articles. It is also known as the Lotus Temple. The Hawa Mahal in Jaipur, also known as Palace of Winds. The Taj Mahal Palace is an icon of Mumbai. The Victoria Memorial in Kolkata, built during the British Raj. The Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus in Mumbai, built for Queen Victoria. Textiles and costumes. Traditional clothing in India greatly varies across different parts of the country. This is influenced by local culture, geography, climate, and rural-urban settings. Traditional styles of dress include sari, mundum neriyatum, salwar kameez for women, and dhoti or lungi, shirt, Nehru jacket, achkan, and sherwani for men. Languages. India has 22 official languages. Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada are also some of the classical languages. Performing culture of India. India has rich art legacy. The performing culture of India is a fusion of various arts. The artistic tradition and aesthetic beauty lies around almost every corner of India. Religious cultural tourism products. There are local festivals depending on prevalent religious and linguistic demographics. Popular religious festivals of India are of numerous. They are the Hindu festivals such as Diwali, Mahashivaratri, Ganesh Chaturthi, Durga Puja, Ratha Yatra, Ugadi, Raksha Bandhan, and Dasara. Also, harvest festivals include Makar Sankranti, Pongal. Indian New Year festivals is also celebrated with unique style. They are Ugadi, Higu, Vishu. India also celebrates multiple religious festivals such as Diwali celebrated by Hindus, Sikhs and Jains. Most popular Islamic festivals in India are Eid ul-Fitr, Bakrid and Muharram. Christianity celebrate Christmas, Good Friday and Easter. Recreational cultural tourism product. Amusement park, theme park, botanic garden and zoo. Scientific cultural tourism product. Museum, industrial tourism, agricultural tourism, military tourism, adventure tourism, and scientific expedition. Museums. It has been revealed that museums are now playing a major role not only in the wider sphere of arts, but also within tourism and leisure. Most large museums are located in major cities throughout the world. Artistic cultural tourism product. Folk art, folk music, performance art, and architecture art. Dance forms. The Indian dance is the expression of inner beauty and the divinity in human. It is a deliberate art. Classical dance forms. The earliest available work on dance is the Natya Shastra of Bharata. Classification of dance forms. The classical dance can be classified into two major types, namely Tandava and Lasya. The Indian classical dances are Bharatanatyam, Tamil Nadu; Kathakali, Kerala; Mohiniyattam, Kerala; Manipuri dance, Manipur. Manipuri dance is one of the major Indian classical dance forms. Kuchipudi, Andhra Pradesh. Kuchipudi is a classical Indian dance from Andhra Pradesh, India. It is also popular all over the South India. Kathak, Uttar Pradesh. A dance of northern India, Kathak is often a dance of love. It is performed by both men and women. Odissi, Odisha. It is indigenous to Orissa in eastern India. It is predominantly a dance for women with postures that replicate those found in temple sculptures. Satriya dance or Satriya Nritya of Assam. This classical dance form has its origin in the island of Majuli, situated in the middle of the mighty Brahmaputra River in Assam. National Festivals of India. Supreme importance for the citizens of India and remind us the significance of freedom, democracy and peace. India has three national festivals, namely Republic Day, Independence Day and Gandhi Jayanti. Republic Day, celebrated every year on 26th January to commemorate the great historic events when Constitution came into force. Vibrant and beautiful tableau demonstrating the culture of different states and parade is organized. Independence Day, celebrated every year on 15th August to celebrate India's independence after the British left and pay homage to the freedom fighters. Ganesh Festival. Ganesh Chaturthi to Anand Chaturdashi, 10 to 11 days festival celebrated with various social and cultural events. Role of the guide while on cultural tours.
Culture refers to a country's way of life and the life of the people, the food they eat, the way they behave, the practices they do in day-to-day life, the architecture of the place, the art, music, dance, literally everything. So, and the culture definitely varies between different countries. And when we refer to India, India itself, though it's one country, when we travel between one place to another, for example, we travel between a state to another state, from Kerala to Tamil Nadu, you can definitely see the difference in way of life and also the differences in food people eat in different states. So, culture is a very important aspect of tourism, and well, I would refer and bring to your notice why people travel. People travel for many reasons. Some people travel for pleasure, and some people travel for just seeing the nature. Some people travel for their own interest in terms of like bird watching, animal life. But all these people, though they travel with a particular intention, with a special interest, they all are interested in learning the culture of a place where they travel to. And that is where a tour guide becomes an important part. A tour guide, he belongs to a different culture where he comes from, and if he can refer to his way of life, how he actually go through different methods of life, and also the architecture he has come through, that itself refers to the culture of that region. So that is how we explain about our own life, our own belief and practices to a tourist. That is how we bring them into our culture, and they get a good introduction about our culture. For example, when we take a tourist into a temple, we know as a local person, we know what are the restrictions. I call it a restriction just because it's a custom, where it's a practice. When you go into a temple, you have to remove your shoes, you have to be dressed very modestly, you have to have a bath in the morning, and then once you are inside the temple, there are certain practices we do. So as a local person, we know that, and that is where a tour guide comes into and explains it to the tourist how we actually behave in a temple or into a place where we are going. So this is all part of the culture, and then we also have to explain why we are doing it, why we leave our shoes out, why we are taking some what we call it prasadams from the temple, why we are going around the shrine. We call it circular passage, sorry, my slip of my tongue. We go around the shrine several times. Why doing it? Why do we do the arati inside the temple, like with the camphor and all that? Why we are offering flowers into the temple? This is all part of the culture. So that's how we actually bring the travelers into our culture and get them experience about it.
It is necessary for guide to learn how to handle certain situations that are raised by customers from diverse cultures, religion and ethnicities. Guide should learn about their customers' cultures, which will help him to react in a proper way when faced with cultural differences. Guide is cultural ambassador and brand ambassador of a country. Cultural guide has to learn about other cultures, social norms and language barrier. Cultural guide has to provide in-depth information on the historical, cultural and natural sites for tourists to understand the background story and have traveling experience. Guide should conduct a live cultural tour. Guide should inform the tourists in advance about the dress code, culture, language, gestures of a destination. Guide should act as an intermediary between the host community and tourist. Guide has to organize necessary cultural activities of the place to be visited. Example, arrange Kathakali dance drama performance.